this episode, I talk extreme horror with my friend and brother, Rob Gore. Rob is the main man behind the killer death metal band Coffin Syrup, Bokor Law, and is also one hell of a killer chef. Be warned, this episode is extreme and viewer discretion is definitely advised. After you're done with this episode, make sure you check out my fellow horsemen of the podcast Apocalypse, Everything Went Black podcast, Into the Necrosphere, the Necromaniacs podcast, Spitball Media, Iblis Manifestations, and the Soul Knocks podcast. Also, don't forget to check out some merch on the Horrorwolf 666 podcast T Public Store. Got some really cool stuff up there, some art from Sick Abyss, and also some really killer art from Chroma Noir. So definitely check that out. And if you dig what you hear, don't forget to leave a rating on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to this podcast at. And don't forget to spread the word. It's much appreciated. So really hope you enjoy this episode, and thanks for listening. All right, Rob. Thanks so much for being on the podcast, man. This is definitely overdue. I've been wanting to get you on for a while now, but yeah, this is a great time to talk some horror with you. So,
thanks, man. It's a pleasure to be here, dude. You're doing killer stuff. I'm honored to be a part of it.
I appreciate that, man. And before we get into our topic, which is going to be some of the six most extreme fucked up horror movies that we can kind of conjure up a piece. So that's going to be interesting. But before we get into that, have you been checking out anything recently that's caught your eye?
The last movie I saw that was really good, that really stuck with me, it's not too extreme, but it was a lot of fun, was Deadstream.
Oh, dude, love Deadstream. That made my list, I think, was it last year or year before last? Was one of my top films of that year.
Yeah, that was really good. Is it Where Evil Lurks or When Evil Lurks? That was good.
Yes, that was number one for me.
And recently I saw was it Destroy All Neighbors?
Yeah, what'd you think of that one? I need to watch it again, man. I couldn't pay attention when I first watched it. I kept pulling my phone out, but it had some interesting things going on, especially with the effects and all that.
Yeah, it had great practical effects. It was a little more goofy than I was looking for, but it's still fun. One that I saw and I just I wasn't feeling it, was that Suitable Flesh.
Oh, dude, yeah. I wanted that to be good, being that it's like Lovecraft, Barbara Crampton and stuff. But yeah, that was super disappointing, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. So.
Yeah, that was definitely a miss, man. But it's rough when it comes to like Lovecraft adaptions. I think the best Lovecraft stuff we had in the past 10 or 20 years was done by Richard Stanley. With Color Out of Space, and there's plans to do I think 2 more films. Dunwich Horror was the next one, and there was one after that, but he got into some issues, some legal issues, and some other stuff going on. So that ain't gonna happen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I thought that Dagon was a pretty good Lovecraft movie.
Oh yeah, I dig that one.
And of course, my favorite of all time for Lovecraft related stuff is In the Mouth of Madness. That's so good.
Dude. Yeah, 100%. Right on that one. That's one of my favorite John Carpenter films as well. It's just, man, it's so fucking good, and it still holds up really well. Like the practical effects in that one are still fucking, just fucking killer.
Yeah, it's from that time period, where it's like everybody's smoking cigarettes and they don't have cell phones, but like we grew up on that movie, and it was just amazing that, for its time, it was like the best. It's still a great story, still great effects, still like watchable and enjoyable. So
yeah, dude, 100%. I know a bunch of people rag on the 90s, man, that it wasn't any good horror movies in the 90s, but I disagree. Everything before, I say 1998 or so, there's a lot of good shit there, late 90s, 98 on up. Yeah, there's a bunch of garbage there, but there's some really killer shit in fucking early 90s.
Yeah, I'm a fan, dude. I mean, we could talk 90s all day, bro. No doubt. I mean, I can't not mention two of my favorites. If we're gonna talk '90s real fast,
Yeah.
Dead Alive, obviously. Love that movie. Brain Dead, Dead Alive by Peter Jackson.
Oh yeah.
And the other one, man, Cemetery Man, Della Morte, Della More.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. That's I recently did a rewatch of Cemetery Man, and I did a rewatch with my Quest 3 VR headset. So I had like a fucking a 300-inch TV in front of my face.
Oh,
So
sick, dude.
but it was cool because I didn't it allowed me to fucking just sit there and pay attention, not pull my fucking phone out and shit. I was like in the moment there, I was like in a giant
Yeah.
dark ass theater. I was like, this is fucking amazing. And I loved that film before my rewatch and stuff of it, but it still holds up so well and it's still so fucking good.
Engineer. I'm not an engineer.
I love the humor in it too, man. It has I don't know, it's just really like whimsical and fucking it's so weird,
dude.
Man. It's
It is. Yeah, just the whole everything, man. It's like what it's got going on, and like the humor is so like it's just sometimes it's awkward, but it's good, dude. And like Nagi and the girl, and he throws up on her and all that, and then like he takes off on the motorcycle, and dude gets his head crushed. I mean, you just can't go wrong with that movie, dude.
No, dude. The effects are fucking awesome, man. I mean, fantastic fucking practical effects and shit. And like, yeah, that's like that's in a lot of people's like top 10 films of all time, man. And there's a reason why. I mean, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's gonna always be one of my favorite. I think I have like 4 or 5 different versions of it that I've collected, like media books and Blu-rays and all this.
Nice. I need to get on that, man. I don't have any Blu-rays of that one. I don't even have that on DVD, man.
I'll tell you what, man.
Slipping.
Go for it immediately if you can still find it. Severin just put out like a new 4K like special edition. Like, I think it came out on Black Friday, and I wasn't able to order it because funds at the time were a little low. But I had it in the cart. I had to think hard about it. So.
Okay, cool. Hopefully it's still up. I'm trying to save up we're moving here in a couple of weeks, so I'm like trying to save a little bit of money, and all this shit keeps coming out on Blu-ray I want to buy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Fuck. But yeah, that's one I definitely need in the collection because if that shit like disappears off of streaming, like who knows when it's going to come back. As of right now, I think it's still up on Shudder, but I'm not 100% sure because that one kind of disappears and goes all over the place.
Yeah, I just checked. You can still score. It's a 4-disc 4K UHD exclusive slipcase with booklet, $55, dude. Totally worth it.
Oh yeah, that's a great deal, and I love Severin. They do great releases and stuff, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Severin is dope.
I have a special edition Steelbook Blu-ray of The Crow coming in May 7th.
Oh, nice.
I pre-ordered like fucking 12 months ago.
Yeah, whenever you get that, are you going to pop it open and fire it up? Fire it up. I had to. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, you got to. You can't not with that, But I don't even know. I'm sure I'm gonna open it, but I'm like weird with some of this shit. Like I have like a watcher copy of a movie, then I keep like the special edition like sealed, man. I got so much shit sealed, and I'm like, I'm not opening that. I watch it, I stream it, or buy like a cheaper version, but I'm not opening this. This means too much to me.
I feel that.
I got like 6 different editions of Mandy. 3 of those are on VHS, or 4 of those are on VHS, and yeah, they're not touching my fucking VHS player, man, because they get eaten up or something. I can't handle that, so.
Flip your shit for real. Cheddar Goblin!
God. And speaking of Mandy and stuff, Panos hopefully has a new movie coming out this year. I'm not exactly sure. There's rumors that's coming out this year. I think it's called like Necrochasm, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. I always get the name wrong, but it's going to be like a fucking sci-fi space horror type deal, so I'm sure it's gonna be awesome.
Sounds dope. I'll check it out.
Yeah. So my most recent thing that I've checked out that really fucking hit it with me, because it's been a slow year so far. Nothing's really like oh man, that's 10 out of 10 good shit. Nothing yet. But last night on Shudder I checked out Late Night was it Late Night with the Devil?
Nice. I've been wanting to see that. Yeah, it just hit Shudder I think Friday, didn't it?
Yep, last night it hit, or yesterday, but dude, yeah, fucking great, man. Really good practical special effects in there. There's some CG stuff in there thrown in, but it's like 95% practical when shit goes down. and
Yeah.
it's really fucking good. I want to watch it again because there's a whole bunch of like little Easter eggs going on in there, and if you don't really pay attention, you're gonna miss it. So you can go back and see all this shit you didn't see before.
Right.
Yeah, fucking 10 out of 10, man. So far, favorite film
Nice.
of the year. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, man. You definitely raised my excitement level. Like I saw last night, but I wanted to rewatch a couple of these that I'm going to talk about today, so I went with that instead.
That's cool, man. And before you check out Late Night with the Devil, go on YouTube and check out their Shutter channel on Shutter's YouTube channel. There's like a 30 something minute like short that it did specifically for this film. It's like another like you know fake 70s TV show that has the main character as a guest on there. And there's like
Okay.
a yeah, at the very end there's like a part that kind of coincides with what you're about to watch with this film. So check that out first, then go into the film. I think it'd be really cool.
Nice. I'll take that pro tip. Thank you, sir.
I did that in reverse because I forgot
Ah,
about the YouTube thing. Yeah. It's still cool even in reverse. It's like, oh man, all right, that's a cool little like build up to it. But yeah, fucking killer, man. Fucking Shutter's killing it again this year. So
yeah, they're definitely a worthwhile investment. I mean, like streaming services for me hit and miss, but Shutter and Screenbox too. Screenbox got some fun stuff. I don't know if you mess with Screenbox,
I
but
do. Yeah, because
it-
they got bought up by I'm gonna say Bloody Disgusting. I think
yeah,
they
yep.
teamed up, and since then, like their fucking quality of shit's been really fucking good.
I watched on there. It was pretty fun. It was called like Out for Blood or Here for Blood or something like that about the wrestler.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, dude.
yeah,
Yep, I checked that out and I love that one, man. That's like a strong 8.5 out of to a 9 for me. That was really cool.
Krabs was pretty good on there too.
Which one?
It's called Krabs. It's pretty goofy, It's like, but it's just fun, and I'd say it's definitely worth a watch.
Okay, I keep that in mind. I haven't checked that one out yet, but I like how they have a good mix of like really like independent stuff, and they got some more like bigger budget stuff now. Like they definitely
Yeah,
up their game up though when it comes to this quality. There's a lot of good shit on there.
yeah, I definitely recommend Screenbox too. I mean, it's cheap, if you get the year long subscription, if you can just drop the money up front, you get it for like really cheap. And my thing was they didn't have an Apple TV app for the longest time, and I happened to be an Apple TV user, so I'm like, guys, I can't watch your stuff. Like, if you don't get this app, I can't
Hmm.
give you my money. I'm trying to watch. So they
Yeah.
got it now. All is well with the world.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm a Roku guy, so I fucking love
Oh
Roku.
yeah, yeah.
Roku
Roku's
hat.
the shit. That's how I was watching it. I have an old Roku box. I hooked it up just to be able to watch Screenbox, and but now I don't have to. I disconnected it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm glad they're on Apple TV because Apple TV is really cool, man. I have Apple TV Plus as a streaming service, and they got some pretty
Oh
cool
yeah,
shit on there.
yeah. I did get shout out to my bro Shade for getting me onto the Apple TV. So
Yeah, they got some really cool like somewhat horror stuff on. There's a M Night Shyamalan TV show on there. I don't know if you checked it out called The Servant.
no, I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, even if you're not a fan of M Night Shyamalan, this is like his best shit ever. I think it's super dark, deals with like occult stuff, and yeah, really fucking cool. They're only like 30-minute
Cool,
episodes, so you can like blow past them.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Speaking on episodes and like shows, did you watch Fallout on Prime?
We haven't yet. I've been trying to get
Dude,
Cindy to watch with me. I'm like, when
it's
we go watch
good.
Fallout, we're trying to
It's
wait.
good, dude.
It is okay.
It's
Yeah.
fun as hell, dude. Watch it. It's got some great gore, some great like brutal like killings, but it's like the humor and it's on point, dude. Just check it out.
Are all the episodes streaming now, or are they doing like
Yeah,
every week?
no, they're all available now. Yep.
Sweet. Yeah. No, that's like way up there on my list of like TV shows to watch. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, I'm rewatching it again. With Erica, we're enjoying it, so it's
Okay,
pretty
cool.
cool.
Fallout goes to the top. I'm trying to finish up season 2 of Twin Peaks on another. This is like my 20th rewatch of it, so
Oh
like
wow.
it's new. But yeah, yeah, I love Twin Peaks, man. It's one of my favorite shows. But yeah, I've never seen the season 3 of Twin Peaks, the one that came out recently, like 2017 or something like that. I've never watched that, man. I've always
Yeah.
kind of skipped it because I was afraid it was gonna like take away from the original series, but I heard it's really awesome. So when I get done with season 2, I'm finally gonna check out season 3.
I've never seen any of it, but I might have to give it a watch.
Dude, Twin Peaks is A plus. fucking weird, awesome shit. And there's a lot of horror elements in Twin Peaks. A lot of horror. So,
Right on.
all right. So, I guess we can get on to our topic of discussion. We both picked six of our like favorite, like most extreme, disturbing movies, and that can be, gore and blood wise, or just being disturbing for being disturbing's sake.
Yeah.
So, and I think between our lists, I think we got a good coverage of both. So,
Yeah, some of these are you could say are some of my favorite messed up movies, and then some are like they're definitely not my favorite, but just like they felt disturbing, and so few things actually disturbed me, so I had to include some of these.
yeah, dude, I'm on the same boat with you when it comes to things that disturb me or actually scare me. Real life scares me, man. Movies don't. But, there are some movies that kind of make me feel like I need a shower. And
Yeah,
that's where these films that I'm gonna be listing, that's where they're coming from. Like, oh
yeah,
man, like what did I just watch?
yeah. I can't wait to find out what's on your list, dude. It's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, hopefully it's a good one. So, but yeah, man, let's go ahead and start off with your number six.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and kick things off with American Guinea Pig,
Nice.
Bouquet of Guts and Gore. So this one's directed by Stephen Biro, whichever one it is, Stephen. I'm sorry, bro, but we're just gonna keep it rolling. It's a great, like, disturbing gore film. It feels like it was like done back in like the 70s, 80s. Like it could have been like it might actually have been real. Very very much just gore front and center all over the movie. Very incredible work on the effects. Man, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's great. It is just kind of disturbing, like the thought of like, all right, we're going to kidnap these ladies. We're going to give them this like drug so they can't move, but they're going to be awake, and then we're going to give them like LSD, and they're going to like be tripping balls. I guess tripping ovaries because they don't have balls, but um, and then we're just going to dissect them. Basically, it's brutal as fuck.
It is, man, and like you said, it's pretty realistic, and that's all it is like a whole dissection thing. There's not like really a story there that I know of, just
No,
like
dude.
straight brutality. Is like, what do you like? Is this a snuff film? What is this? If this was out in the 80s, like I'm sure this would be questioned as like being real or whatever.
Yeah, the special effects are just badass, dude. I mean, I know Marcus Cook was involved, and he's like top notch when it comes to practical effects. I mean, I know there was others involved, but Marcus sticks out for me, and I've seen a lot of his work, and he does great, great things. If you like sickening gore, you can't go wrong with Marcus Cook.
Right, yeah, dude. And especially with this film here, like I don't think there's too many things gorier than this. It might be weirder, like when it comes to like different type of gore effects, but when it comes to like just straight up brutality, I think this is one of the most brutal films.
Yeah, it's definitely brutal. It's a very mean spirited film. Like a lot of times that's what gets me. Like when like movies will have gore for fun. It's either outlandish, unrealistic, or whatever. Or the movie itself is like it's like a fun movie, but it happens to have some gore in it. But nah, this is straight up mean ass, like just mean spirited, brutal gore. Like no way around it. It's definitely an American Guinea Pig. It started the series off, the right way.
Oh yeah, dude. Did you ever watch the other guinea pig movies from I think it was the 80s, the Asian ones?
I've seen a couple of them here and there, like way back in the day, through totally legal means of the internet. And I have Flowers of Flesh and Blood. I got that from Stephen Biro, and he sent me like a piece of the film reel with it. Like, I mean, I bought it. He didn't like send it as a present or something. Like, it was like he was fundraising, and I bought it from him. But
Hmm.
yeah, those are brutal, and they have their own feel, but like I've seen a couple of those and none of them have like stuck with me. I've never like wanted to rewatch them, but I've seen Bouquet of Guts and Gore a couple times, and I have the mask from it from the crowdfunding.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, because I got some of the pieces of skin from it. He had a really good crowdfunding campaign on that. So
That's always like a plus when there are like crowdfunding and stuff, and there's like cool bonuses and everything. Like, I don't know, this makes you feel like you're part of the team, that made the movie, which you kind of are anyways because you help fund it. But
yeah, it's
no, that's
definitely it's a good one. If you can handle the brutal gore, if you're out there and you're like, man, I might want to watch some of these movies they're talking about. If you can handle brutal ass gore, I definitely recommend getting your hands on a copy and checking it out.
yeah. And I think it was streaming somewhere for a bit. Is it streaming on Screenbox or was?
I don't think it is now. If it is it Plex maybe? I've seen a lot of shit on
There's a
Plex.
lot of shit on Plex. I know it's not on Tubi that I know of, yeah, I don't think it's on Tubi. It could be, but they're doing a lot of cutting on Tubi right now, so I doubt it. But I know it was streaming somewhere for a bit. I thought it was Screenbox. Oh, you know what? It was Arrow. It was the Arrow player. That's
Oh
it.
word.
Yeah. If you don't have the Arrow player is fucking really cool, man. They got a lot of weird shit on there.
Yeah, I need to get that. You were telling me about that
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago when we were chatting.
They have all the strange stuff you forgot existed. It's on Arrow.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Cool, man. All right. Well, I reckon we'll do my number six. And my number six here is going to be it's a film. For a while when I first saw it, I was like, I think telling people at work, just anybody I knew, I was like, if you can make it like through the first 10 minutes of this movie, you should get a award or something. It's that fucked up. And
Uh-oh.
yeah, so and it's a really shitty movie. That's 2013 Septic Man.
Oh God, I know that one.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I stumbled upon this. It was on Hulu, man, back in the day, because Hulu throws some shit out there you didn't even know existed and stuff. But yeah, I was like, oh, Septic Man. I was like, I think at around this time too, I was really looking for more extreme stuff, so I was fucking hunting down all kinds of shit. And yeah, I ran into this one, and the first 5 or 10 minutes is some of the worst shit I've ever seen take place in a bathroom. Literally, man. It's like it's I mean, it's kind of comedic in a way, but not really. That this chick, her bowels are just going everywhere, and the whole fucking bathroom is filled with shit, and it's very realistic, and that's kind of like the whole like tone for the whole movie. This guy gets stuck inside of a septic tank, and they can't get out, so he starts to I don't know, evolve into some type of like shit monster type thing. And it's just, man, it's so nasty, and the special effects are really, really good. And you definitely need to take a shower after watching this one. It's like, because I mean, the whole fucking movie is nothing but shit and fucking sewage, and yeah, and a mutant type septic man is born out of all this.
Yeah, and then there's like those like two dudes are like apocalypse guys or something that live down there, right? Like
Yeah, you got the one guy down there who was an ex wrestler, and he's also in a ton of horror movies. Robert Mallet, I guess his name. He plays the giant. Then you have Julian Riching, who's been in a whole bunch of like stuff. He's a Canadian. I think this whole movie's Canadian, but this guy's been like everything, like The Witch, fucking American Gods, Hannibal. But yeah,
oh
you
wow.
got those two living down there in the sewers too, and I think they're trying to kill the septic man or whatever and stuff. And yeah, he's kind of already dying anyways because he's trapped down there.
Yeah, I would rather be killed than spend any amount of time being alive down there.
And I think there's some scenes where he's like they're trying to feed him food or something, and he's eating all the shit, and it just like it just gets worse as it goes on. Like his skin starts to deteriorate and stuff, and over time it's like bubbling up and all this like abscess fucking monstrosity. Like it's a film you're not gonna watch twice. I guarantee. If you watch it once, I'm proud of you just to say you watched it. But yeah, this is not one like, oh, I'm gonna watch this like every year. Like, no, man, this is a
No.
one and done. And I think right now it's streaming on Tubi and also on Screenbox. So if anybody's interested in checking this out, word of advice: I don't recommend eating while you watch this. I don't care how strong your stomach is. This motherfucker will make you gag. So
Ugh.
yeah, but that is my number six, Septic Man.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely a shitty film. Uh, Literally, not like it's poorly made, but
No, yeah, just shitty.
yeah. Next up for me, man, these next two are going to be similar, but we're going to go with Deep Web XXX.
Mm,
Uh, this is like an anthology film, and this came out on the Unearthed Films Too Extreme for Mainstream line
hmm
of movies. Yeah, I think at the time you had to like order them directly from Unearthed Films. They're not going to be like, or at least when they were released, they weren't going to be like in like special outlets where other films were available. You'd have to go some specialty shop or something like Grindhouse Video or Diabolic DVD or something. But yeah, I
hmm
got it directly from Unearthed Films. So it's basically like some dude just like hits up the computer and goes to this website that's like dark web, deep web type site, and just watches a bunch of fucked up videos.
Nice.
And so it's some disturbing ass things that take place. Like I don't want to sit and go through like all of it in the anthology,
Right.
because it's like there's a lot of different stories. And if you were interested in watching this, I don't want to spoil too much, but I will spoil the main scene that sticks to me and is disturbing. Will definitely stick with you whether you want it to or not. um, one of the scenes he clicks on the video and it's like a gay club, and so like the first part of it, and it's just lots of like dude on dude action or whatever. But then like they go to the special room apparently, and there's a special swing there, and this guy has on this very long glove, um, and then he has some very moisturizing ointment that he puts on his arm, and we'll probably just stop there.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's definitely something that you see, you're not going to forget it, and so that's just like a warning. If you're going to watch that movie, you're going to have to see something like that. And all of them are pretty much weird and disturbing. Some of them are even like artistic and cool,
Mhm.
but there was one or two I definitely like. I thought some of them could have been done way better, but I'm not gonna like knock on it. It's better than movies I made because I didn't make any movies, right? So, um, yeah, definitely. If you could check that out and you got a strong stomach, some of that's pretty realistic and some of it's uncomfortable, and you could watch it. And it's kind of like in a way it could be real, right? Because like people really do stuff like some of these videos.
Oh yeah.
So you could totally imagine like there's probably really websites like this, and they probably really have videos of real stuff like this getting made on purpose.
Yeah, dude, and that's what's scary. Like there's real stuff out here, like really extreme things going on in the webs.
Yeah, like you were saying, like life is actually scary. Movies aren't, but like sometimes it makes you confront life, like confront that this stuff exists.
Yeah, I mean, because we got fucking serial killers out there, or had serial killers that are like way worse than any fucking Freddy Krueger and stuff, and that's all real, and that's
Yeah.
yeah, it's way worse than anything we can watch on these horror movies. But they kind of prepare you for real life stuff, like, all right, this does exist, so keep an eye out for these type of killers and stuff.
Yeah, you definitely want to watch out. And definitely if I land on the dark web and I see some site like this, I'm just gonna dip out because I don't need to see this. I already watched this movie. So I've already got all the taste of that kind of stuff that I'm really looking to have. So
Is this streaming anywhere that you know of, or?
I don't believe it is. It's pretty graphic and explicit in a lot of the scenes. So I know that oftentimes the streaming sites don't have it. Um, I can check real quick for you and see if it's streaming.
Yeah, if it's streaming anywhere, it's probably gonna be Arrow or I remember the Unearth had their own like streaming site for a while, right? It was like you could buy them and stream them off their website.
Yeah, it might be at Unearth. I would have to go there and check it for you real fast. I just Googled it, but I don't know if these sites are legit or not, so I don't want to say any of
Yeah.
their names. I don't want to send somebody to some kind of. Let me hit up Unearth Films right quick.
They might send somebody to a dark web link or something.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get you into real trouble trying to watch this messed up movie.
Yeah.
All right, boom, we just hit on our films, and let's take a peek. Would it be in the store where they do the streaming? I haven't been on here in a little minute. I know they got lots of cool stuff though. You could still get the baby from Serbian film, right?
Oh, that's
The
that's cool.
baby's still available. $7,000. That's a
Oh man, what a
steal.
deal! Yeah, that's a deal.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was like, um, so this is the store. I know I was browsing. I think they were streaming on. Is it Vimeo?
Uh-huh.
Or at least like the trailers were on Vimeo.
I believe so. Yeah, I think it was Vimeo.
Yeah. So
I'm sure if people
catalog.
want to watch it hard enough, they can find it in whatever way is possible. Just
Yeah.
like we said, be careful what you click on.
Well, if you really want to watch, I know you can purchase it from there. So that's the best way to do it. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like
Physical media.
every movie in my list, I actually own a copy of. So it's you know,
Yeah. No,
yeah, I
that's
have them
cool.
all. So that's how I know to watch them basically. I'm on the site now trying to see. Uh, and there's so many good films on here. Oh, the Plot Digger collection. You know we love that. Here it is right here. Deep Web XXX. Let's click on it and see if it's got a streaming link. It does not say a streaming link, but there's a trailer. And I don't see where you can buy it on here.
Hmm. Might have to check the eBays, maybe.
Extreme Horror Channel. Honor Films Extreme Horror Channel. Oh, what is this on? Extreme Channel Honors Films. Calamity of Snakes. 100 Tears. There's some good shit on here too. I don't see. Let's hit next page. How about that?
There you go.
There we go. Collar. House of. It should be on here. I see House of Flesh Mannequins is on here. Yeah, you could rent that for $4. Let me just hit next. There it is right there. Yeah, so you can stream this on extremechannel.unearthfilms.com, and it will cost you $4. If you are brave enough to watch it, it will be worth your $4. But I caution you, you must know what you are getting into.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, take those words wisely there before you venture into this unknown.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of like getting onto the dark web and not knowing what you're getting into. So
Nice. Well, we're gonna get to my number 5, and the reason I find this movie disturbing is because I am a pet owner, specifically cats. And I'm not. I can watch people die in movies all day. I know it sounds bad, but when it comes to like animals, man, like I can't. I don't really like that. It kind of
yeah.
rubs me the wrong way. So when I first watched this film, which is going to be 1997's Gummo, yeah, there's a decent sized scene in here where the main characters are fucking going around killing cats, and they show them walking around with the dead cats. And oh man, I'm like, what the fuck? Yes, it's a good movie and stuff, but like the whole fucking thing is just like dark and this fucked up. The whole entire movie is really fucked up. Like the way these kids live is really crazy and stuff. Even like the actors and all that were picked for this role were like this is like regular townspeople, if I'm not mistaken, and they're all like really creepy. And I don't know, man. It's really dark, and the cat stuff disturbed the shit out of me, man. I like this movie, but I'm never gonna watch it again. It's got a great soundtrack. There's bands like Sleep on the soundtrack. A lot of cool doom and all that shit. But yeah, this is a one and done for me. Like it literally killed my whole weekend when I first checked this movie out after seeing the whole cat scene. I'm like, I'm good with that. And the whole film just takes place. It's all about this like family or whatever, and that live in like the middle of nowhere and shit. They're all like poor, and just kind of like filming their life. And it's extremely depressing, extremely dark. Even though it says comedy, yeah, there is some dark comedy to it, but it is pretty bleak, man. And it's done by Harmony Korine. So if you're familiar with his friends, I mean with his films like Kids and Spring Breakers, Trash
Yeah.
Humpers, all that weirdness. Like, expect some fucking, weird, dark shit. And out of all his films, Gummo's definitely the most extreme. And then Kids comes in like a nice second place because Kids is pretty fucked up too. So,
Yeah, I've seen Gummo, I've seen Kids, I've seen Spring Breakers. Did he also do Bully, or am I thinking
Bully, I don't think he did, but it
oh,
seems like
okay.
one he would do. Bully's another
Right.
kind of like it would fit in with this. And actually, let me double check there if he did do it or not. No, but it was done by Larry Clark, and if I'm not mistaken, him and Larry Clark are connected. Like when it comes to filmmaking, they did Kids together,
Okay.
so that's the connection with Bully right there, because that's a
All
very
right.
similar type of film.
I probably saw like from the producer of on it or something like that. Is probably what I was thinking it. But yeah, producer, writer, whatever the credit was. But yeah, that Gummo was definitely like to me like I say movies are dirty or they're gross. It's like how they make you feel or like the setting or environment it puts you in, you know.
Hmm.
And it's definitely I agree with you there. It's disturbing. And I don't like animal violence. If it's not real and it's fake, it doesn't bother me. But I've seen a couple movies with some real animal violence, and I don't care for that shit.
Yeah, man, that was a big thing with what was it, Cannibal Holocaust, where they actually killed the animals there on set.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I
yeah.
was thinking of. That and Cannibal Ferox.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm like, man, that's a little much. And I've hunted deer before back when I was a kid and stuff. And, I know issue that you're going to eat that and stuff, but just, killing, animals for no reason, I think that's horrible. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
Gummo, man, like, I'll never go back and rewatch that one. I do appreciate it. It is a good film and it really delivers the feeling it's going for when it comes to just like that fucking nasty ass fucking dark tone or whatever, And growing up too, I grew up around folks like this, like, some really fucked up looking trailers and stuff and these weird trailer parks in the middle of nowhere. I've come in contact with these type of people before, so that kind of hits home too. Like, yeah, these people exist, man.
yeah,
And it's kind of scary. So yeah, Gummo, and this is gonna be a hard one to find. Only thing I can say with this one is try to find it the best way you can, however, whatever means necessary, because sometimes you can find it on YouTube, but before it gets like deleted off of there for free. But I don't even know. You can probably find it on eBay to buy maybe, but this one's hard to get your hands on. So, but if you can find it, and you want to ruin your weekend, check out Gummo.
yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah,
So now we're down to what? You're number four, right?
yeah. We're on the number four. So this is actually the next one for me is XXX Dark Web, and this movie is like the first of the two, I believe.
Hmm.
So deep web and dark web, they're both very similar. They both have like uh, Domiziano Cristofaro. Hopefully, I said your name right. As like involved as directors. Uh, but this one, the dark web one, I think it was the first of it, and it's a very similar lines. Premise. This dude shows up in front of his computer, logs on to the website, and starts looking at these videos. This one I'll rank it higher for disturbing because two scenes really just again there's like it's like several different scenes anthology, but two of these scenes really like just stick with you, like dirty, gross. You need to go take a shower. You feel just disgusting. Like it's the second one on this one. This is like it's like Slipknot's having a like weird sex party. It's like these dudes in masks or whatever. It's just in
Hmm.
this dirty bathroom, and they're like, just it starts with like some weird masked dude, and he's like jerking off to some pictures or something. But then like he's getting tormented by these like Slipknot dudes in like a clown mask and a long nose mask, and then they like torture him, and yeah, it's pretty brutal and. I'll skip over all of it, but spoiler alert here, it culminates with them like sticking a vacuum in his ass and vacuuming out his asshole and then
Oh
like
man.
fucking his vacuum prolapse asshole and like yeah, it's pretty just disgusting and but that's bad enough, but later on, another segment actually has like really brutal. It's like what's this? The White Gardenia dude. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but like
Hmm.
his segment on there, like it's like real violence. Like he like stabs himself with scissors or something, and these chicks like drink his blood.
Wow.
But then like he like cuts his own pinky off, and they like cook it and eat it, and that shit's real. Like
Oh
it's
man, yeah, I don't know anything about this one. This is all new
that
to
shit
me.
is so brutal, dude. Like you've seen some brutal shit, I'm sure, but this
Oh
is
yeah.
real. He has to whack his finger several times. It's all real. The audio is disgusting. The crunch of the bones, and like he's like whack, 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 and he finally cuts it. It's like bleeding all over. You see the like bone fragment. It's so brutal. And then the chick is like drinking his blood and cooks up his finger, and they try to eat it. So that's that's your spoiler warning for that one. Like those two scenes, one is just gross, but it's not real. But that scene is real, real violence, real blood, and very brutal and can be hard to watch for a lot of people, I'm sure. So I would say there's your warning on that. If you're adventurous, you want to see some weird ass stuff this much like the Deep Web XXX movie, this has lots to offer. A lot of really weird sex scenes in both of these movies, but this one in particular, the things I just discussed, definitely disturbed me, and thus I had to put them on the list because I'm kind of desensitized when it comes to brutal and weird, but these things are just a little extreme, bro.
Yeah, no shit, especially when it's real stuff like that, like that's that's really fucking extreme.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like sacrifice for your art was real, like cutting off your own pinky finger. I think maybe not the smartest decision, but
No.
it takes balls. I don't have that amount of balls. Like if you're like, hey, bro, you're gonna be directing a segment of this movie, I'm like, sweet. Like, what can I do? And like, whatever you want. I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I think I'll cut off one of my fingers and we'll try to snack on that thing. Like that's not
Yeah.
gonna.
I wonder what drugs were involved, if any. I'm hoping there's some drugs involved, and this wasn't just like, just regular, day-to-day thinking. But
Yeah, no,
like, what the fuck?
I've seen a couple of his other works, and a lot of them, like real blood play and bloodletting and stuff. But this is again part of the movie anthology. That was his segment, and that was real. He cut his own finger off for the segment. It's brutal as fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's some Van Gogh shit, right? So Van Gogh cut his ear off, but
Yeah.
yeah.
This one, I don't know that it's streaming. This wasn't released on Honor Films. I got this one. This is the Tetra video release of it. It's like a hard box, like one of those big DVD hard boxes, almost like a VHS box kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, it came like that, and it's pretty brutal. It said all the segments. There's some weird stuff in there. I don't want to spoil the other ones, but I feel like with these two, I need to like warn people who might listen to this cast and be like, I think I'll check this out. You need to know there's these particular type of things in here that could mess with you a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is extreme to the extreme for sure.
Yeah. So that was number three.
Number
Number
four.
four. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like three more to go for me. What's the next one for you, bro?
All right, my next one. I don't remember how I stumbled upon this movie. I saw it on somebody's list a long time ago about, most extreme fucked up movies or whatever. I'm like, let's give it a shot and see what's up. But it's 2017's Trauma. I don't know if you ever seen Trauma before,
I'm
but
pretty sure I know what you're talking about. As soon as you tell me the premise, I'll know if it's which one I'm thinking of. Because there's like two that are kind of like this
yeah,
movie.
yeah, there's a few.
Is
I
this the
think
one with like the war?
this is
Like,
the yes, this is the Spanish one.
yeah,
So
I've definitely
yeah.
seen it. Yep.
Yeah, so the gist of this one is four friends partying in a house in the middle of nowhere, brutally attacked by a man and his son,
Yep.
forcing the remaining women to take vengeance upon them. Yeah, this is yeah, this whole movie is just extremely dark when it comes to like the home invasion scene and stuff. I mean, there is like no kind of humor whatsoever to break
Mm-mm.
this up. It's just straight, very, very dark. So this is your warning also with this film. Yeah, there's some really hard to watch like rape scenes and stuff like that in here. Like it's a hard one to watch, and I don't even know if I would recommend it to 90% of people Like it's a really hard one. It's just extremely brutal and mean. And
Yeah.
I just stumbled upon this and like yeah, another one and done. Like I never go back and rewatch this. I appreciate it was done and all that stuff, but man, and it's really well done too. Like
Yeah.
effects wise, production wise, it's a really high production film and stuff. And man, is it fucking brutal. And
Yeah.
let me see if the director did anything else big after this. No, this is pretty much his like big movie was Trauma, and I guess he like maybe went to the underground after this because like, man, what did I just make? You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, this one was yeah, it's a rape revenge movie, but man, it's dark. It's way darker than like what's the other one? I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh yeah.
I think this is a lot darker, and that's a pretty dark movie. So just be warned that yeah, this is not for the faint of heart. And if you want to venture into these dark waters, like do it at your own risk. And this one's actually streaming on a bunch of fucking sites, which is
Yeah.
crazy. It's streaming on Pluto, Tubi, Roku channel, Plex, Prime Video for $3. Like,
Nice.
yeah, it's like if you want to see some extreme, then yeah, this one's streaming all over the place. But you know, I would give it like a 7 out of 10 if I was to rate it and stuff. Definitely a one and done. But yeah, if you're looking for something really fucked up, check this one out on Tubi or something. And didn't say didn't warn you about this, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Be
my number.
warned.
Yes, it's a rough one.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. If I'm remembering correctly, it wasn't just like the rape scenes that was messed up. There's like so much other messed up stuff in it with like the son and the father and the
Oh
wife
yeah,
and the keeping the hostages and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All that was all fucked up too, man. And it was so, like I said, there was no like, it was unrelenting. You know, there's nothing to break up, none of this like dark shit going on. Just like fucking heavy after heavy stuff. You know.
Yeah, it was really a tough watch. It
Yeah.
wasn't any redeeming qualities. It was like just a bad story. Not like it's a bad story, but you know what I mean? Just like bad vibes, bad feeling. Just
Yeah, dude, I felt kind of sick after watching it, man. Like my stomach wasn't right. I'm like, I gotta watch like some Seinfeld or I gotta follow it up with something funny. And it took a couple of days to get over that weird, like dark feeling. I was like, it's a hard one.
yeah.
But yeah, that was mine. So now we're down to your what, number three now, I think.
Number three, yeah. So we're gonna go with another entry in the Unearthed Films Too Extreme for Mainstream, and I've just flipped through their store, their streaming store here. I don't see that it's available to stream from there, but this one is Torment. It's from 2017, directed by Adam Ford, who had some scenes. I believe it was the one I previously mentioned in Dark Web, XXX Dark Web.
Hmm.
He might have had a scene in there. Yeah, but Torment is basically a very mean-spirited movie. It's very brutal. There's not, I mean, there's a story, but it's not much. There's almost no dialogue. Very uneasy film. Like leaves me feeling really gross. Just it's so dirty. Like the dirty house, the dirty environment. There's a lot of rape in that movie. And it's just like it's a terrible movie. Like I'm not saying it's like done poorly. I just mean like it's just so bleak and it's just it's gross. It's just a dirty movie. Like you feel icky.
Yeah.
Ha- have you seen that one?
I think you recommended this to me a very long time ago. You give me like a drive with a bunch of fucking movies. I think it was like a disc drive or something. I mean, or like a USB or some shit with a bunch of like really dark stuff. And I think this is one of them, but it's been a
I
really long time since I've seen it. But it does bring back some memories, I think. So I'm pretty sure I have seen it.
It's like loosely based off of John Wayne Gacy, so it's like the dude's a clown. I don't think you could forget this if you'd seen it.
Yeah, maybe not. The clown thing doesn't ring a bell with me. The
Yeah.
name does, but there's a different. I think there's a ton of horror movies named Torment. So
Yeah, there is. So
yeah.
it could be pretty easy. This one's definitely it's about so like it starts off with like two dudes wake up in bed. The one dude is like passed out. The other guy gets up and starts snooping around the house. And at first he's like he finds like this drug stash or whatever, and he's like and then he finds like a little money, and he's like but then he ends up in this room, and there's like a dude. tied up in there, all messed up, like bound gag, like, and then all of a sudden, the other dude has woken up and then basically proceeds to incapacitate and torture the other guy, and he does it intermittently dressed up as a clown, and it's like hallucinatory, kind of like drug induced, and it's just some really like gripping, like things that could stick with you is like the guy that's initially found, like bound and gag is already mutilated. He's like so afraid for his life, like he's like pissing himself. He's like, it actually like showing him piss himself, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
eesh. And there's so much like butt sex and like ass rape, and just there's a really gross like viewpoint scene. Like, I don't want to spoil it. If you're going to watch this movie after all the things I just said, then you deserve to not have that part spoiled for you. But definitely uncomfortable movie. It's just very bleak. It's like you were saying about trauma. It's just there's very little redeeming qualities to the story. It's based off Gacy, so it's like scary that it was like in a way it's like influenced by real events.
Right.
And the dude is pretty scary as the clown, like especially with the like sadistic like levels of violence he's inflicting on these dudes. And yeah, I mean, I could recommend this only to them. Like, you have to be strong. Like, you have to not be phased by a lot of stuff in movies. You have to be able to handle it. I saw a lot of reviews that said this was good, and I saw a lot of people putting this one down.
Mm-hmm.
And like anything that comes out on too extreme for mainstream, I've already like bought it and watched it, and this one is the only one that really just like stuck with me and like gross. And when you invited me to this podcast, it was the first movie I thought of, and I rewatched it just like last week, and yeah, it's everything I just said about it is very true.
Still
So
holds up then, I guess.
yeah, if you're looking
Yeah.
for a sick, bleak, unfun, like just mean spirited movie, this is the one for you.
Nice. Well, yeah, that's so yeah, I don't even think I'm not gonna venture into that one, being I don't think I've seen it after all what you just said, but I'm gonna stay away. But
Yeah.
listeners, if you want to check this out and take a trip to the dark side, go for it.
Yeah, I don't know where you could stream it, but you could purchase it if you wanted to, and check it out. It's very very gross, very dirty, icky, mean spirited. Um, yeah.
All right, so now we're down to my number three, and my number three comes of courtesy of you many years ago, bringing this over for me and Cindy to watch. The 2012 never forgettable film called Found.
Oh hell yeah. Oh, Found is such a fantastic movie, dude.
It is. It's a great movie, man. But god damn, is it got some fucked up shit in it, and it gets
Yeah.
more fucked up as the movie goes on, and it's done in a very serious tone. Like it's a very serious movie, and yeah, it's extremely dark. Like the only thing on Internet Movie Database where like the little summary is a horror obsessed boy discovers his older brother is a serial killer. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it there. But like it just like there's some scenes towards the end that deals with like heads and the whole like how they're watching like the VHS tape of like these so-called fake murders that they think are fake, and it turns out to be some other shit. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, extremely brutal kill scenes, all practical, like very I guess very realistic, and just very mean spirited is the best way to put it. But it's a very well written film. It's a good film, but there's certain scenes in it that are really really fucked up, especially the ending. One of the most fucked up endings out of any movie I've ever seen, and kind of a
Yeah.
surprise too. It's like, oh, I kind of saw it coming, but not to this extreme. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is one of the best endings ever, and this one isn't quite a one and done movie. You could revisit this one. It's that well written and stuff. You can revisit and stuff, but it is a strong film. It's hard to get through, especially towards the end and stuff. But highly recommended. It is a really good film, but very extreme.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that movie. I've seen it a couple of times, and I always recommend it to anybody interested in like modern extreme cinema. Um, it's everything you said, dude. It's very well shot, very well like acted. Like the child actor is really good. Um, the effects. the story. It's just great. I went and got the book that it's based off of and read that too. So
How was that? I thought about getting that, but I never did. But how's the book it's based off of?
it's good. If I'm remembering correctly, it's like a novella, maybe a shorter story. So it's a real
Mhm.
easy read. I think it has like other stories in it. I might be wrong. It's been several years since I've read it. I gave it to my friend, so I don't have it anymore. But he really enjoyed the movie, so I gave him the book because he likes to read. So that's why I don't have it. And
Mhm.
but yeah, definitely recommend that, dude. I'm right on there with you, man. It is disturbing because it's very realistic, and then like that could really be happening. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know, just the like reality that that movie is grounded in, and then like how it's like performed and shot and acted. It's really good. Like like you could tell like the brothers care for each other, and the family's kind of like it's like a tough family to be in or whatever.
Mhm. No.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely recommend it.
Yeah. Same here, dude. And that one's streaming on Screenbox. It's also on Tubi. I recommend checking it on Screenbox just because support Screenbox. But it's on there right now if anybody's interested. So definitely give this one a watch and prepare yourself, especially for the ending. Like it will leave your mouth open at the end. You'll be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my number three. That was Found.
Very cool. You know what? That's actually really dope that you had found on your list because they were at my number two. And one of my all-time favorite extreme horror movies is Headless.
Nice.
Headless is basically the movie he just described. Found there's a movie within a movie that the kids are watching, and it is Headless. And so after the success of Found, they made a Headless movie, and this is basically the story of Headless, and has nothing really to do with Found. But this movie is very brutal and it's very disturbing. There's some very explicit scenes in there, some
Mm-hmm.
very crazy kills. It's very well directed. It's got a lot of great actors in it. Like Shane Beasley's the killer. He does a great job. If you know me, you know I'm a big fan of Ellie Church. She's in there. Brian Williams is in there. He kills it. Haley J. Madison's in there. Just really like great. Like Haley, like I always think of that when you think of Headless. I think of her scenes. Or like she's like, "What are you doing? Stop! Leave
Oh
me
yeah.
alone!" Like it's it's like it's funny and like Shane Beasley has no dialogue, but like his laugh, it's like, and it's just it's great, and it's just basically a story of this headless killer, and then like it gets really deep, man. It goes into his childhood and what makes him the way he is, his upbringing, and like the abuse he went through. So it's like really grounding, and it's like you almost feel bad for him, in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but it comes across in serious like that. It has some mean spirited kills, mean spirited gore, and it has some like goofy, campy stuff in there. Like I said, like Brian and Ellie are great together, like on their screen time. And I was just a really big fan of this movie. I highly recommend this one, especially if you're going to watch Found. And chances are, if you're going to watch Found after hearing this, you're going to want to watch Headless too.
Oh yeah.
Like they're so good together. If you like do a double feature, that's the best.
Oh yeah. 100% agree. I have the special edition. I think it was a Blu-ray. I don't know if it was DVD or Blu-ray of Headless when it first came out when they did like the crowdfunding thing. And I think because of
Yeah.
you, I got Headless and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't get fucking. I don't have Found. I thought I did, but I don't have Found.
Dude, I think I have a couple copies of Found. Let me get in the horror hole and see. And if I have extra copies, I'll just give you one, dude.
Yeah, it'd be good to have my collection and stuff, man. That way it makes it complete.
Yeah, I think I have like the original DVD, and I think there was like a re-release, or there's like some difference. I know I got at least one copy signed by Scott Shermer, but I want to say I have like another copy or two. I seem to remember, so I'll have to check it out for you, bro.
Okay, sweet, man. Much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely check out Headless. I'm a stand for Headless, so I'm gonna always recommend it.
Yeah, and it's really really dark too, but I think it's a bit more fun than Found. You know what I mean? Like the kills are
Oh yeah,
like more creative and not quite as mean spirited as what Found is, but still dark as fuck. But
yeah. It just there's like some camp and some humor in it as well, and just some of it's a little ludicrous, but it's still you know It's a great movie, and the mask. I love the mask and the look of the killer. Like, it's so simple. It's just a skull mask, but like, yeah, and his MO and what he likes to do to the body. It's very unique to be explored so explicitly in these films. So
Yeah, and he's kind of a really good, almost like a modern day slasher, which we don't have very many of anymore, you know. So he kind of like fits that whole thing.
well, yeah, and there's like nothing supernatural about him. It's
No,
just like it's like he's not some risen zombie, or he's not from some lineage of ancient evil, or he's not invading your dreams. He's like snatching you up and decapitating you and doing whatever he likes to do.
yeah, yeah. He's just a crazed madman, and yeah, very well done. Yeah, it's a good one.
Absolutely.
All right, so now we're down to my number two, and my number two isn't a super violent movie, but it's a very very weird movie, and this is 2016's We Are the Flesh. Have you heard of this
Oh,
one?
I fucking know that one. Yeah. God, that is
Yeah,
disturbing.
yeah. I first watched this one on Shudder. Back when Shudder first started off, they had a bunch of really weird shit that you had to search for on their website before they got kind of big. And I've watched a few like they had like there's Samurai, which is this weird German film with a cross-dressing samurai who thought he was a werewolf, and that was cool shit. But there's also some other weird ones on there, and this was one of the other weird ones that you had to find. But the gist of this one is into a ruined city, after wandering a ruined city for years in search of food and shelters, two siblings find their way into one of the last remaining buildings. Inside, they find a man who will make them a dangerous offer to survive outside in the real world. So, like, yeah, this brother and sister find this kind of weird hobo type guy living in this weird, like, cave looking area and stuff. And he's trying to, like, grant them almost like like almost like grant them wishes or whatever to survive out in this like a post-apocalyptic type world and stuff. But the shit they have to do to get his help is really really fucked up, and it contains a whole shit ton of like fucked up bodily fluids, incest, you name it. A lot of weird things going on here, and
Yeah.
it's a one and done type film. It is
Yeah.
yeah, you just feel super nasty after this one because I said the whole film is just filled with like bodily fluids, and if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I guess you know. Like,
If you know, you know.
yeah, it's like man, and the whole incest stuff's really weird, and of course, and yeah, it doesn't really have too much of the like violent shit. There is some violence in there, but it's mostly all the weird sexual stuff that really got to me and stuff, and I was left like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like what is this? This type of movie exists, and it's on like a mainstream app, and yeah, totally fucked up. And yeah, without giving too much away, that's all I'm gonna really talk about it because if I give too much away, then you might not watch it, even though you might not watch it after that description. I don't know, especially if bodily fluids and incest, kind of turn you off there. You're not gonna check this out, you know. And this one is streaming on out of all places Tubi. Tubi has pretty much everything, and this is on Tubi right now. So if you are willing to dare to check this shit out, go for it. It is an okay movie, like maybe a 7 out of 10, but it's well done. Production values are really good and all that stuff. But man, is it fucking disturbing? Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that film. I want to say it was released on physical media, and I had never seen it, and I ended up buying it. I don't remember what company sold it, but I got it, and it's everything you said. It's pretty. It's not something I still need to watch. It's a one and done. Is it well made? Yes. Is it, it's all the things that you would want it to be, but it's just a little fucking weird. The incest thing, like, I'm sure they're not actual uh family or whatever.
Right,
So,
right. But still,
that doesn't bother me. It's like implied, but it's not real. But yeah,
yeah.
just all the weird shit. It's uncomfortable. That dude that plays the hobo,
Oh God.
he does good at being a gross hobo. Like he,
Yeah.
it's effective. So
He's like a gross hobo, evil wizard type character, man, and the shit he does is, and there's shit involved too, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shit involved in this too. So yeah, it's got everything.
Yeah, all the things you want to see. Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. And that's streaming up on Tubi if you want to be that adventurous, go for it. So now we're down to the number ones for you. So
Number one for me, bro. Let's see. We get a little drum roll here. All right. I went with one of my favorite movies, which really says a lot about the quality of person I am, I guess. But it's going to be a fantastic little ditty that's from 2009 by the Wizard of Extreme Low Budget, well done, sleazy, grimy, like gore maestro Ryan Nicholson. Rest
hmm
in peace, Ryan. His movie Hanger. This movie is gross. It's disgusting. Lots of disturbing shit going on there. Just like so many levels. If you sit through this movie, like I could
hmm
talk about all the different things. I'll drop a spoilerific spoiler warning for anybody who's might be so tempted to watch this, which I do recommend it. But so basically the story is like a prostitute is pregnant, so she's not getting the sales that she needs to have, and her pimp does some brutal shit to her. That involves a coat hanger, which the movie's named a hanger. And let's just say he didn't do the best job and whatnot. And the kid is alive and well 18 years later. It's his story and the things that happened to him. There's so many gross things that are unsettling about this movie. Like one thing that gets me is that like every character has some kind of prosthetic makeup on them. Like almost all characters, right?
hmm
And so like their faces look messed up. Like even like Dan Ellis like has a prosthetic nose on, and he plays like the John or whatever that was like in love with the hooker, and the hooker is the ever fabulous Debbie Rochon. So everybody knows Debbie. If you're into the horror game, you might not know her, you've seen her if you don't
Right.
know her. But yeah, she does a good job. It's got a special appearance by Lloyd Kaufman in the movie. He plays a character called Melvina the Tranny.
Mm.
And so yeah, that's a very special. In fact, the movie opens with Class of Nukem High playing on the TV. Some footage of that. This is pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's just great movies. Total trash, garbage. It's just so many wrong on so many levels. I definitely recommend it. There's a particular scene in there that's really just brutal, gross. It's like, so the one dude is like, he likes giving people like roofies or whatever, GHB or something,
hmm
and pass out and have sex with them. And so he tries to pull this little maneuver on the main character of the movie, and discovers that that dude has a colostomy bag, and so he's pretty grossed out and decides he doesn't want to do his filthy sexy time with dude. But then as he's taking a bunch of boner pills, he's not satisfied, so he decides that he's going to get in there anyways, and gets into the colostomy hole, and lots of poop ensues, and there's like explicit footage of that. So the movie's got a lot of explicit. I'm not sure. I have like the special edition from like the Slaughter in Syracuse Con, like, so I think it has like extra like scenes in it that might not be in the main version. I'm not sure. Uh, the Unearthed Films has a release of it, and I think you can find it at most places that sell honor films, but you can buy it from them directly. Definitely recommend it. I would have said Gutterballs, but Gutterballs is more fun and just
hmm
has like violence. But Hanger is just disturbing, and it's gross. It's a gross movie. Like I watched it again in preparation. I've seen it a couple times, but yeah, it's so nasty, dude. Like what? It's fun. It's fun nasty. I feel
Yeah.
like, but if
And
you're
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was to say if you're up for that, like the way I just described it, like have you seen it personally? Like
You know what? I think I have seen some of this, but I think I cut out on like halfway through.
yeah,
I remember the colostomy bag scene there, and I think I think I was good. So I
yeah,
think I've seen like half of this before. So
Yeah, it's a pretty gross movie. Lots of explicit stuff goes on in that movie. It's a weird mix of like some of the scenes are like supposed to be sexy, and then like everything else is super gross, and you're just like, what? Uh, definitely Brian Nicholson, one of my favorites, and the sleazy underground extreme. So
That's cool. It had Lloyd Kaufman in there because if like he's kind of like he is the grandfather of that type of stuff, like the underground extreme shit. Because recently I was watching rewatching Toxic Avenger on Joe Bob. He had Lloyd on last week, I think it was, and it's like, man, looking back at that movie, there, like that movie was fucking fucked up, especially for its time, like special
yeah,
effects and the gore. I'm like, man, so I mean, he is the godfather of that, of that genre. I think, like he had some really extreme stuff with Trauma.
yeah, I definitely want to see that new Toxic Avenger. I haven't seen it yet. When does it have finally come out?
I have no idea, dude. I know it was doing the festival run, but I haven't heard anything about when it's coming out to like video or what. Like it's kind of been radio silent, but I've heard it's interesting. It's pretty good, but
Yeah,
I'm curious to how it's going to turn out. Like a modern day Toxic Avenger. So,
yeah, I'm interested too, for sure.
all right. So we were down to my number one, and when I first came up with this idea doing this episode or top extreme disturbing things, this was the first film that popped in my mind because this is definitely a one and done. Never going back checking this one out ever. I'm good because again, this film has no humor whatsoever. It is extremely dark, extremely fucked up, and that's 2015's Atroz, U.S.
Oh,
version Atrocious, but it's Atroz is the original
yes.
name, the Spanish film. There's a couple of them out there. This is the Spanish one done by Lex Ortega. This is one you
Yeah.
want to watch, and man, this deals with like gang violence and stuff, and gang on gang like fucking executions and everything. Man, is it fucking brutal. Uh, there's a there's a scene in here that really got me. That's really fucked up because there's no humor in this whatsoever. Everything's super realistic and like fucked up to the extreme. But there's that scene where that person has their guts cut open and they're fed their own shit out of their intestines. I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
that scene. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, man? I'm like, and it is so mean spirited. There, like I said, there's no light at this tunnel. It's all darkness, and man, it's a very well done film for what it is. It's well written and everything. But yeah, if you dig extreme violence and just fucked up shit the whole fucking time, no break, then this one's for you. And if I'm not mistaken, the director of this one, he went on to do like another really cool movie, which is not in the same level of fucked upness as this, but he did Frankenstein's Army,
Oh,
which is
that's
good.
him.
I
Sick,
believe
dude.
so. Yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that, which is good. Or he was involved in. I'm not sure if he directed it or not, but I think he was involved in Frankenstein's Army. He was involved in Night of the Wolf somehow. Like all these other like really cool films. I think he had a portion in Satanic Hispanics, which just recently came out. But
That was really good,
yeah, that
actually.
was a good one. That was, and that's on Shudder, I think, still. But yeah, atrocious man. Like I say Atroz, I go with the original name because
Yeah.
there's some other atrocious movies out there that are not this one. But this one will leave you like feeling like shit for a very long time. And I don't know where this is streaming at this time. It was on Tubi for a little bit, but right now I have no idea. So watch this one whatever ways you can, I guess, But just be prepared for this something really dark and really kind of hits home because the reality of this movie. This is all like factual, not factual stuff, but based on like true shit. This no supernatural, nothing, none of that stuff. Is just like real world fucked up shit. So
Yeah, that's Atroz is also on Unearthed Films, so you can definitely buy it in a physical copy.
nice.
And I was gonna check that channel for you and see if it was streaming there. But
I
I
know.
know it was on streaming services because I rewatched it whenever it was, and it was pretty brutal. Like you said, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, and
Just
that one
mean.
just hit me. Yeah, it's mean and like it's based in reality. There's no supernatural, nothing. There's none of that shit. It's just this mean spirited, like real world shit that's going on as we speak, and that's what's really scary about it and fucked up.
Yeah, totally, man. I feel it. It's mean, and I think another thing that makes it effective is that it goes back and shows you some of the abuse that the killer went through
Right.
as a child. It is available on the Unearthed Films Extreme Horror channel. It's there for $4.95. You can watch that if
Nice.
you are so inclined and want to support Unearthed Films. I'm looking through now to see if Hanger's on there. I know that Gutter Balls is on there, which Gutter Balls and Famine are on there. Live feed is on there. Is Hanger not on here, bro? Uh, Hanger is on there. So yeah, you can stream Hanger for $4 at the Unearthed Films Extreme channel. I would recommend it if you're just gonna sit around with your buddies and want to watch something weird. But yeah, watch the Traws like you were saying, dude. It's mean spirited, it's unrelenting, it's very visceral, it's just gross. A lot of
Hmm.
uncomfortable stuff going on there. It could be a tough watch for sure.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah. So I had we already did your number one, correct?
Yeah, we did
Uh,
number one. My number one was Hanger. Yeah.
that's right. I had an honorable mention. I almost put in this list. It's extreme, but not like super extreme like the movies we mentioned. But it's really a really mean movie. It's really dark and it's based off a real serial killer. But that's 2019's The Golden Glove. Have you seen that?
Oh, I have seen it. Yeah.
That's a mean fucking movie, man. It's like, and
Yeah.
it's filmed it's filmed really good, but it's like ugly at the same time. Like especially the main character, like the prosthetics they have on him and stuff, and like just the whole like everybody around him is like really like dark and gloomy, and this is a whole really ugly, nasty, filthy movie. You need to take a shower after watching. You know what I mean? Like, and the kills are pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah. I remember seeing that one. I want to say it was on something streaming when I
Hmm.
watched it. Was it Shutter maybe?
I believe so. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's
that's when I
still up on
watched it.
Shutter. I think it's still up there. I know AMC Plus has it, so I think Shutter has it too. But yeah, that's a good one. And it's supposedly based off a real serial killer and stuff. And man, this is a really ugly movie. Well done movie. I enjoyed it, but I'm not gonna go back and rewatch it probably. It's pretty dark. But yeah, that was like an honorable mention I had that almost made the list.
Yeah, I had thought about that, and I had a bunch of them that I was considering, and I mean, I could go on for probably way too long with honorable mentions, but I guess if I had to pick just one honorable mention, it'd probably be like Where the Dead Go to Die. Um, it's an animated movie by Jimmy Screamclaws.
Hmm.
Lots of weird and fucked up shit happens in that movie. It is also available on Unearthed Films. You could stream it for $5. I know I sound like a freaking Unearthed Films advertisement this whole
Your
podcast.
spokesman. Hey, that's good
Yeah,
though. They need the business. That's cool, man. Like
yeah.
supporting the fucking good shit.
Well, I can assure you that I'm not affiliated or anyways. It's just I'm a fan of the shit. And Where the Dead Go to Die is messed up. It's animated. It's fun. It's trippy, but it is messed up, dude. And I would say that's one you can get a hold of, especially if you enjoy animated stuff. And Screamer Claus has that very like particular style. You know it's him as soon as you see it. And I would recommend it for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one myself. So.
I have it on physical media if you want to get together and watch it sometime.
All right, yeah, might do that. There's another animation, weird one too that could have made my list, my last one here. But I know you've seen Kuzo, right? Have you seen Kuzo?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a nasty movie, man. It's just nasty because like all the venereal diseases these people have on their faces and shit and pus
yeah,
and it's like, man, this is just fucking nasty, man. I don't think I made it through the whole thing in Kuzo. I'm like, all right, I get it. This is supposed to be like, gross out to the point of like, you might want to barf or something. I get it, but I think I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I think that was up on Shutter. I'm not sure if it's still up there. See, you're doing all mostly like unearthed stuff, and I'm kind of like sponsoring Shutter here. So, but
Yeah,
no affiliations. I wish. Like I
yeah,
love
no
Shutter, and
doubt.
well, maybe
Uh,
one day.
Yeah, Shudder's great, man. I'm a big fan of Shudder. Being able to pop it on anytime and see these movies, it's a great mix of like old and new, and they keep it fresh, their original like content. Uh, so it's a great service. Honor Films has been, I mean, even since like for me, as far back as like when they put out Aftermath, like
Hmm.
I went to Best Buy and bought Aftermath. Like holy shit, like Honor Films been killing the game since way back then. Like uh, can't say
Yeah.
enough good shit about Unknown Films. So
And that's really cool because we need all the like independent like horror stuff to be thriving and everything. Because most of the mainstream shit that comes out in theaters most of the time is kind of crap. I've heard some good things about the new Omen movie and a couple other movies that are coming out that are mainstream that are really fucking awesome. But when it comes to underground, when you stick with the independent people.
yeah, I do love me some indies. Some of the best shit is independent.
Yeah. Oh, totally, dude. Yeah. So hell yeah, man. Like, yeah, this has been fucking great, and I hope we have one hell of a list for folks to go check out. Like,
Yeah.
man, I hope people do check these films out. I want to hear their response to these extremely extreme films. I mean, you can't really go too much more extreme than what we named off, Like, I think we covered the whole spectrum really well.
Yeah, we did. It's a great list. There's others I would put on here, but six was a good number, and then we got to mention some honorable mentions too. So we covered the bases, and everybody should. If you heard the things we talked about and it sounds interesting, gonna give these movies a watch. And if you decided that maybe it's not for you, it might not be. Some of these are pretty hard. Like I'm like somebody who like eats hot food can eat really hot stuff and be like, oh, it's not that bad, and other people are like, oh, they're dying. Like I'm the equivalent of that with these movies. I'm like, I can watch just about anything and not be phased. And some of this stuff was a little much for me too. So
Yeah, dude, I extremely agree with you on that. I can also remember watching a fucking movie with you before that had some serial killer guy with a dick nose. He had a dildo nose. You remember that one? I don't know.
was that the cockface killer?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is that
Yeah,
shit?
yeah,
Yeah,
cockface killer and grime wave. Yeah,
yeah. That was a interesting one.
yeah.
Yeah, memorable for real though. But hell yeah, man, this has been great, man. And yeah, we'll definitely do this again and pick another subject. I like to do top sixes because 666, but it's only
Oh yeah.
6 6 because you're not a third six. But you know what I mean.
Uh,
I still
right.
try to keep it with that. So I do top sixes. But yeah, we'll definitely do an episode on something else again soon. And yeah,
Be
'cause this is
great.
really fun, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks again for having me. This has been a blast talking horror, especially extreme and brutal and disgusting, vile, like all the worst shit. So it's been a blast, dude. Thank you so much for having me on.
Hell yeah, man. And there's no other person that knows extreme horror like better than you. Like out of everybody I know, you are the fucking man when it comes to extreme horror. So like the shit that was recommended on this episode, like yeah, this is the extreme shit. So
Thank you. I appreciate that, brother.
hell yeah, man. You have a good rest of your weekend and stuff.
You too, man. Take care.
Later.
Peace.